the rest of the week of what is going to take place during the Holy Triduum. Let me explain, first of all, what is going on here. This trial of Jesus. It really is. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. In Israel at this time, they are under Roman occupation. The Romans, for the most part, allowed people to worship however they wanted to worship, but they did not want any trouble. And as soon as they would sniff any kind of opposition to the Roman regime, they were going to snuff it out right away. So they would broach no conflict with any of the local people. Oftentimes, they worked along with the leadership of the congregation. In this case, they worked along with the leadership of the Jews. For the most part, these were members of the Sanhedrin. These were the elites of Jewish society. And don't think that they were all bad people. A lot of them were very, very good people. What they wanted to do was to keep the lid on things because they knew that the Romans could be brutal if they thought that somebody was going to rise up against them. So they have on the cross the thieves. They were people who were dangerous people. They caused havoc in society, but they were also revolutionaries. And the Romans were not going to put up with any kind of a revolution. So, what you have then is the Sanhedrin working along with the Romans. For the most part, they wanted to keep the lid on things. Wanted to keep the lid on things, and some of them also had a good relationship with the Romans. It was good for business. They were doing okay under the Romans. So not all those people involved with the trial of Jesus were bad people. Another person we have to take a look at is Pilate. For a long time, Pilate goes down in history as a very bad man. History tells us he was a brutal man, and I'm sure he was a very brutal man. But if you get these Gospels, he's trying to give Jesus a way out. You see, I find nothing wrong with him. I find nothing wrong with him. And he wants to let loose. Just I'll flog him, and that's the end of him. But he's coming under pressure. And, just like today, we have people who are in high office, high places. They come under political pressure, and sometimes they give in to the political pressure. So he finds himself giving in to the political pressure. But Jesus does not make it easy on him. As he's trying to examine Jesus as to what happened, Jesus doesn't really defend himself. And the key here is this, that Jesus is exercising humility. Most of us, if we're done dirty, we want to strike back right away. Jesus knows that there is a bigger plan, and he's willing to go along with the program. Which program? The program of God his Father. And he says this in the Our Father. He says, "Thy will be done," because he knows of the sovereignty of God, that no matter what human beings do to him, God has a plan, and God is going to save him. So that even in this case, although Pilate, as I said, has a bad reputation, Pilate did try, to an extent, to save Jesus from the cross. Okay. The last thing is this. He brings Jesus out on the balcony, and he says, who should I save? Should I save Jesus, or should I save this Barabbas, this insurrectionist? Barabbas shouts out, give us Barabbas. Why? Let me tell you something, folks, things never change. There are people who hire people to go and protest. And these people are hired. I mean, you can't have a whole bunch of people saying, give us this notorious criminal, this thug, and you crucify Jesus. And so, folks, as I said, we see in history, it repeats itself over and over and over again. And in this case of the crucifixion of Jesus, we can see that human nature has changed very little. Human nature has changed very little. And that the key to this whole thing is Jesus' humility. That's the key. He's a humble man. The readings will say he is a humble man. And because of his humility, he allows these events to unfold. And of course, because he is a humble man, trusts himself to God the Father, he is going to be raised up next Sunday. Last thing, I didn't have enough time to talk to you in depth about this today, But if you want to hear more, you can watch my television show. 11:30 today on Channel 2, and I talk about Palm Sunday and all the implications that it has for us. I love you.